fellow pyros, Joyful Pyro here. Just wanted to show you all a few pictures of some displays that I completed for, or shows that I completed for the month of July using the FireTek FTH48FX. I used a few of those modules to do, I guess you could call these medium-sized displays. Just wanted to show how I use the rails with the rail covers, and that the Cat 5 cables, despite on a couple of my shows I wasn't as neat, could have been a lot neater, but just to show that you could still be neat with the cables, and how the also wanted to show how I could keep my modules, the most expensive piece, out of harm's way by using the rails. And so I'll go through a few photos and just explain a few items within each of those photos. So here I have my main body, and right here in the front, and in the back that's the finale, and I have some 8-inch shells back here that were scripted for the finale and some for the main body. Okay, part of the main body, you can see two of the rails here. I just sat them on a piece of wood. I used the rail covers, being that the pods were so close together, and these are 5 and 6-inch shells, so it's going to be a lot of fire and debris. And so I used the rail covers to keep some of the debris off of the rails. You can see my Cat 5 cable goes out here, and both of them go back out to the side here. And I have my rails right there in between my pods there. And I have the silicone covers where I don't have to too much worry about my rails getting damaged. Still somewhat neat, not the best, but there you have it. You can see here my rails sitting on a piece of wood, and each one of the E-match wires wired into the rail. I have another set of 3 here, and so what we basically did is we have our pods, and we just set the rails right in between them, and wired up wired each up each chain. We use chains here on this particular, on all 3 of the displays instead of individual shells. But even if it was individual shells, you could still locate your rail where you would like to locate it. As you can see, I sat them on the wood here, and I'm using my rail covers to kind of keep the debris and the fire off of the rails. But the one thing that I do like, I don't have one of my expensive modules in the middle of here where there's a lot of fire and debris. I just have a $30–$35 rail and a $5 to $7 Cat 5 cable. And these cables held up well. I fired all 3 shows without any issues with them. And you can see going out the back, I have my Cat 5 cables right in this area here. But let's get a better look at those. Okay, so in between my body, the finale, and the 8-inch shells, I just placed my modules right there on the ground. Probably should have sat them on wood, but I just sat them on the ground. And you can see my Cat 5 cables going to them. I have one module fully maxed out, and then the other was just for the finale. It only had 3 rails on it. I used the yellow here are the 100-foot cables. The blue, those are my 24-foot cables. And just so you know, my controller from these modules was on the other side of the pods that I showed you here in this previous photo, or in the previous photos. I'm about 100 feet away from this pod here, which is the last one, maybe 100, 150. And my modules are approximately about 200 feet away from me. Not a long distance or so. Not a long distance, but they're sitting on the ground with the pods in front of them, and I still had a very good signal. But like I said, the part that I like, these here, which cost me the most money, my modules, are out of harm's way, and less debris, maybe a little ash, if anything, would possibly get on them here. And I just coiled up my 100-foot cables so that the slack just wasn't all over the place. Just a closer look at the modules. Okay, this is back here in the finale. I only had to use one rail. Like I said, I used chains. These were 10-shot chains. And I just had the rail in between each cluster of pods and wired it up. And you can see Cat 5 cable coming there from the modules with the rail covers. Nice, simple, neat setup. Nothing extravagant. Just a simple setup. Another picture there. And I know some may question the straps, but there's all thread. There's 6 pieces of all thread in here with butterfly wing nuts on the other side that tighten this sandbox together, and then the straps. So this is one of our old sandboxes. We have some new ones that we'll use, but nevertheless, here I have 8-inch shells. My rail down here with the Cat 5. I don't really, we all know 8-inch shells make a lot of fire, so it's great that I just have a rail that's exposed to that, and it's only a rail, and I have a rail cover for it. So no need for me to worry there. Just a couple of other shots. I'll just show you some more photos here of another shoot. It was getting dark on me. I wasn't thinking about taking pictures, and it finally dawned on me, hey Eric, you should take some pictures of your photos here. And so you can see here's my mods, or here's one of my mods, and then the other mod here. Then we have cables. I have just the Cat 5 cables going to the body, and then over here was the finale. Get some closer up shots. Once again, these are 100-foot cables, and see how far my module is away from this finale, how far my module is away from the main body. No issue of, or no concern of those getting destroyed, burned, or anything like that. Just a few more pictures. Just show a neat setup. Rail here, rail there. One rail to connect all of the E-match between these pods. Like I said, I like the rails. Sometimes you may have to get longer matches, but also with the rails, you can locate them where you want to, where you can use shorter matches. And surely I could have put my pods a lot closer, but I like to give some space and kind of space things out. It looks a lot better in the air, and especially if you fan the racks. Just another picture there. There's a rail here, and a rail there. 2 more rails. You can see my Cat 5 coming out, Cat 5 coming out, 2 here. And typically what I try to do when I run my rails, I try to use the cleanest route, or the route where there's the least amount of debris and fire, versus running, let's see here if I have another photo. Running a rail, let's say if I have a cable coming in, rather than running it from the very back all the way up to the front past all of these pods up to this pod, I would run it down through the middle here, where there's a space, and then come in and to where the other pods are, instead of running straight down the middle where I stand a chance of debris or fire getting on the cable. Just try to make a little bit of a cleaner run and less of a chance of fire possibly destroying my cable. Another show here. This is off the lake. You can see a couple of cables. Just simple, neat setup, nothing spectacular. Have my 3 rails, pods on each side, and E-matches connect right up to the rails. And like I said before, how I have my cable coming in as opposed to going straight down the middle to get here. Yeah, that's a straighter route, but I like to try to keep the cables as much as possible out of the fire and the falling debris. Just another shot. Two more cables you see going around the outside. Typically, like I said, I only go down the middle when the rail is going to end up right here, or I just for some reason can't get all the way up to the front. But with 100-foot Cat 5 cables, that was never an issue. Just another shot. All right, I think that was my last photo there. As I just go through these and just showing just the simple setup with a FireTek FTH48 FX. And that's it, everyone. Just wanted to show you that, and just show you that you can still have a simple and clean setup with the FireTek compact module FTH48 FX.